Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Supernatural Watch Along podcast. Today we are looking at Supernatural Season 1, Episode 5, Bloody Mary. I am your host, Ryan, and as always, I am joined by my brother from the exact same mother, Kieran.
That would be me.
Well, and also Ali.
How you doing, everyone?
And so let's get into Bloody Mary. Originally aired in February 2006. This is rated an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb. The synopsis: a game of Bloody Mary unleashes a ghost who lives in mirrors and kills by gouging out the eyes of her prey. Sam and Dean must find a way to stop her before she claims another victim. The episode was directed by Peter Ellis and it was written by Eric Kripke, Ron Milber, and Terry Hughes Burton. As always, stars Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, and we have guest stars from Adrienne Palicki reprising her role as Jessica, Marnette Patterson as Charlie, Shailene Simmons as Jill, and yeah.
I don't know any of the girls, so I'm assuming this is obviously Jessica. I know, but I'm
Yes.
assuming these were like what a lot of people got in Smallville was their kickstart, you know. But as I was looking at their names, I was thinking to myself, I don't know any of these actresses.
Well, the girl Marnette Patterson, who plays Charlie, she went on to be in quite a lot, including Starship Troopers 3. So we're
Never
talking
even
the
watched it. Never
talking-
even watched it.
we're
Oh,
talking went on to the big leagues.
You're missing out. This is upper echelons of sci-fi. It is a masterclass in acting, in script, and direction. Beautiful film. I mean, yeah, I'm obviously being sarcastic.
Of course you are.
Better
And
than
so
two, but low bar.
it is better than the second one, to be fair. Yeah, it is. So the show opens with a slumber party for young teenage girls. Seem to be playing truth or dare, and one is dared to look in the mirror and say Bloody Mary 3 times. She does so, and Bloody Mary does not come and take her. However, does come and take her dad, and the puddle of blood that came from this dude was extreme.
The budget on blood was good that day.
Yeah, they clearly had money for some blood because
Yeah.
that's where it all went. And the actress Kirsty Marsden, who played Donna, the elder sister, she could have been a classic scream queen because she had some set of pipes on her when she found it, and it's she let off a really, really nice, satisfying scream. She done a fantastic job at it. I'm not so keen on her character as the story progresses,
Yeah,
but she's got a set of pipes at her. So we then visit Sam and Dean, and Sam is having a nightmare of Jessica, seeing her burning on his ceiling. Kind of carrying over from what we heard previous episode that he's not sleeping, and when he is sleeping, he's having nightmares. We then get Sam and Dean. They go to see the body. They're already in town. We don't see how they got called to it, other than Dean has circled a news ad. So we kind of just jump into it in this one. And unable to piece together how this guy's eyes have seemingly they said gouged out in the synopsis. I don't think that's gouged. I mean, that gouged
like they
is
just
not the correct.
Coagulated and burst.
Yeah, gouged is absolutely not the correct term for whatever gross shit happened. Yeah, well, either way, when they see it, they decide to go to the wake and they try to get some more information. again, use Demon's EMF meter, homemade. We then see Jill, one of the sister's friends, saying Bloody Mary into the mirror. As she then starts to get ready, we hear some Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down, I believe it was. And her eyes start to bleed. Ali, I'm going to ask you this a lot, mate. Since we're watching it different. Was Fall Out Boy on the version you were watching? Did you notice?
No, I can't say I was actually. For a lot of this, I was actually paying attention to the scenes because until watching this episode, I didn't know the Bloody Mary myth.
It
Actually,
was new to you. Okay, that's
I
interesting.
actually, yeah. Well, we've known each other a long time, and that discussions never came up. So I actually had to look it up and see what the fuck it was all about. And I was like, oh, right, okay. GP much?
For viewers, the myth Ali refers to is if adding Worcestershire sauce to tomato and vodka is really as delicious as it sounds. The answer, yes, it is.
We then go back to Sam, who is once again having a nightmare of Jessica's death. We then get Sam and Dean going into the first house and using a blacklight to find on the back of the mirror that the dad was looking into had the name of a victim on the back. They then find the same at the other crime scene. The correct word is that a crime when a spirit melts your eyeballs. Potentially crime scene. It's definitely a murder scene if nothing else. So it's yeah. So yeah, each mirror had someone's name on the back of it. Dean is then able, through lots of research, to find Bloody Mary's backstory. So Bloody Mary, if you say her name, will come, and if she finds out that you have a secret about someone's death, then she will
Gouge your eyes out.
take your eyes.
Okay.
However, if you do not have a secret with surrounding someone's death, she will
Because
leave
you've
you alone.
seen, is it
So-
because you've seen the sin? Or because she gouges out your eyes, so I'm assuming she's
see no
making
evil.
sure.
Maybe it's connected with that. I don't know. Yeah, could be.
Sorry, I'm looking
Uh,
too much into it. I apologize.
To be fair, she wasn't a very rational ghost in the sense of it was like, there was no middle ground. Yeah. It was pretty
no.
severe on how don't get me wrong. The dad clearly deserved to die. I mean, again, I do not condone vigilante justice unless you dress like Batman, then it's fine.
Okay,
But
Kieran, why did the dad deserve to die?
he killed his wife,
Ah, right, okay.
so which is
And
why he was killed.
why did Jill deserve to die?
She
She
committed a
had
hit and
it
run. Yeah, she
So,
committed a
yeah.
hit and run on a child, and he
I
also
think-
died.
Yeah, she had it come. I think there's more question about whether the dad was a murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was where she
Was.
full on.
Well, they both were.
Well,
They both.
yeah.
I think the final one who didn't end up dying, she
Yes.
was a bit non-discriminant. Her soppy emo boyfriend gave one of those ultimatums, and she's like, "Well, go fuck yourself." And he surprisingly
so
killed
that came around because Donna said Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror to prove to Charlie that it was not real. And we end up with Bloody Mary coming after Charlie. Now, the scenario for that is her ex-boyfriend and her were having an issue. He said, if you walk out this house, I will kill myself. And she said, go right ahead. And he did kill himself. And that's enough. Or that's
was
enough
enough,
for Bloody
apparently.
Mary. Yeah, that's enough for Bloody Mary. So
No one affiliated with this podcast condones suicide.
that's true. So Sam comes up with a plan. Plan comes up with a Sam to use himself as bait. Dean is not so keen on this idea. And he says it won't work anyway because you don't have a secret. I already know everything about Jessica's death. Sam says, you do not. I haven't told you everything. Dean doesn't like the idea, but begrudgingly agrees. And the plan goes into action. Sam says Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times. And Bloody Mary comes for him. We then find out from Bloody Mary that Sam had dreamt about Jessica's death for weeks before it happened. And so, potentially, could have stopped it. Mary comes out of the mirror, and Dean, thinking quick, bleeding from his own eyes, because that guy has definitely seen some death as well. And I mean, it makes sense that it's a secret. They're not telling anyone about all the death they've seen. He shows Mary her own reflection. And she, like, just takes herself out, just like shatters into a whole bunch of pieces. And Dean smashes the mirror. And Dean, taking out Bloody Mary, takes us to a nice, even 2-2 to Sam and Dean for the villains that they have defeated in respective episodes. The episode ends with Sam deciding not to tell Dean his secret about dreaming about Jessica's death. And that's where we're at going forward into the next one. So, Kieran, what were your thoughts on this? Actually, before we go to you, Kieran, Ali, what were your thoughts on the reveal that Sam had dreamt about Jessica's death before it happened?
It can happen. It's I've heard, and it's happened to myself that I've dreamt of a certain situation and it ended up happening. So this sort of, I had to pause it for a minute, rewind it back when he was saying it, because I was like, oh shit, okay. So that touched home a little bit in this episode. And but it got me thinking of, right, okay, so if he's been dreaming about this, about Jessica's death weeks beforehand, I want to see where where the story about Sam goes even more now. I'm more intrigued because he clearly has a super, as the show it is titled, a supernatural power.
Where do you think the show's going to go, out of curiosity? I want to get your predictions now on Sam's story.
The fifth episode in season 1.
Yeah, you now know that Sam was dreaming about Jessica's death before it happened. Yeah. So let's get a prediction, and we can just out of curiosity, we'll see how it plays out for you. Now seems like a good a time as any.
I want to say the season finale ends with either seeing their mother or Jessica again in some way, shape, or form. And that's just me going out on a limb here, by the way, because as I'm sorry for using the show for comparison again, but Smallville wise, the series finale or season finale, I should say, was always the best one to watch. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the season finale is going to bring and what the episodes are going to be, hopefully, to build up to that. Because there's usually, in shows like this, it's usually the the fourth or third last episode or so, and then it goes right into the season finale.
Okay, so your prediction is that either Jessica or their mother Mary
Yes.
will make an appearance
Yes.
in the season finale.
Yes. There'll be unanswered questions in season 1. I hope there's not, because I hope we get maybe like a little teaser, and then it builds up as we go, as they go, and they'll be like, it's sort of like dangling the carrot in our faces, thinking we're gonna get something for the season finale, and then they'll turn around and go, and then it's flipped around and went, no, we're not gonna give you this just yet. We'll wait a little while. And
Okay, what's your thoughts on John? Where do you think he's going to go with that?
Well, they're obviously going to meet their dad at some point as well, but it's like the story of Hansel and Gretel. He keeps leaving breadcrumbs for them to follow, so they will eventually meet him. Just because obviously not seen it all before, I can't tell if it's going to be in this season or if it's going to be in seasons down the road. I know it is because I have seen trailers on it when it was coming on TV. I do know that, but uh, back in the day I saw that, I should say. But I just get that, I get that huge Hansel and Gretel vibe from their dad.
Okay. Well, we're not going to give you any
No, of course not.
confirmation either way. And
No.
I don't think I've asked you, but I actually am going to ask you to
Mhm.
where, like, as of yet, we actually haven't uploaded any episodes, so there is zero interaction from any viewers, listeners, anything from any platform. I'm actually going to ask you to not go on to our uploads or social media at all. Or if you do, avoid the comment section like the plague, because there's potential of 15 seasons worth of spoilers that could be in there when you've not
Mhm.
seen
Yeah.
any of it. So when we upload, that would absolutely be worth you avoiding, because we don't want big
No,
reveals.
I know. I'm
If
actually,
anybody's going to spoil it for you, it's going to be me.
yeah, I know, mate. I know. I'm actually not going. I'm purposely not going on the Supernatural Wiki page because I don't want to know.
Yeah,
For once,
You know.
I'm actually wanting to go into this show fully surprised.
Kieran, your thoughts on this episode?
I enjoyed the episode. It's not one of my favorite episodes. I like some of the backstory we get for Sam. It's a good precursor to events to come. Nice bit of foreshadowing. I think it really exemplifies the relationship Sam and Dean have. You as you go on, if people are watching this with us, if people are like Ali and have never seen it before and watching it for the first time, you will eventually come realize that 90% of the problems Sam and Dean have come to the fact that they are terrible at communicating with each other. It's dismally bad how funny it is. Instead of just being like, "Oh, by the way, I dreamt of Jessica dying for weeks. It's kind of weird. Maybe we should figure out what that was and discuss it like a rational human being." Instead, they're like, "I'll be secretive and brooding." And don't get me wrong, it makes for great television, and they both brood very well. But so I think it's great precursor to things to come. And yet, sort of shows why they butt heads and have different views on things. Because I don't want to say, you know, they're stereotypically toxically masculine in a
Mhm.
not a bad way, but in a like it's already been exemplified. No chick flick moments and sayings like that Dean have, which I think are hilarious.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dean's particularly. Yeah, Dean.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
A
think
bit
it's a
more
bad.
so.
I think it's needed for the show, and it works very well. It's just amazing when you look at it from an outsider's perspective, how easy problems could be solved if they just went, maybe we should just talk about this like adults instead of getting bitchy and passive aggressive. But yeah, still think it's a good episode, just not up there with my favorites.
Okay. Now we are going to nip across to our patented villains tier list. And let's see where Bloody Mary, if I can find her. Where's Bloody Mary? There she is.
Yeah.
Let's see where she goes on our tier list. So, Ali, let's start with you this time. Where would you place Bloody Mary? Now, remember, this tier list is not ranking the episode, only the monster.
It was another one of those, it was just one of those other wrap up in a bow and send on its way villain this week. And yeah, she's staying at sea for me. She's not moving up. Don't get me wrong. I was fascinated by the history of this, of the myth of Bloody Mary, but
Okay.
also at the same time, I feel there maybe should have been a little bit more interaction with the spirit instead of just between the guys and Bloody Mary herself. Maybe get a little bit more interaction than what we just got. I felt that would have helped it, but again, it was one of those episodes where it was tie up in a bow and send it on its Bloody Mary way, you know. So,
Kieran, where would you put Bloody Mary on our tier list?
I would also go with C tier.
Okay, we all three of us agree. So Bloody Mary is our first C tier villain. Yeah, all three of us. I mean, she was fine. It was a nice episode. The episode was better because of the tie-ins to the overall story
yes,
than it
totally.
was
I agree
for
with
the monster. That being said, that pool of blood at the start is still phenomenal. That's how
Yeah.
you do a pool of blood. So any other shows should take note. Ali, wrapping up, what would you give this episode out of 10?
I'm gonna be honest here, and it's not the blood that's gonna save it. It's a 6.5 for me.
Okay. Kieran, what would you give this episode out of 10?
Yeah, I'm probably a 6.5 as well.
Okay, fair. I would go slightly higher than you both and go crazy and give it a 7. But realistically, the only reason I'm giving it a 7 is because of the overarching story elements to this. The nightmares, finding out that Sam's been dreaming about it. If those elements weren't in it, it would probably be a 6.
Yeah,
but
my 5 is for the blood, by the way. That's so we're clear.
Okay. Well, on that note, that is all from us today. So come and join us next week for season 1, episode 6, and we will be discussing Skin. And until then, bye for now.
Bye.
Cheers.